if God takes me tomorrow, I'll be known as, one of the original X-Men DJs, 5-time battle champion and, DJing for all the major artists. And, I have that legacy, but I believe there's more. There's more to me. There's more that I can do. I believe God kept me here longer because I have greater purpose. And when I leave this earth, I kind of want to be remembered, that this was the guy who did all that, but he also did this. My statement is knowledge is power, but it's powerless unless you share it. Boom. Shout out to 10K Cars. 10K Cars, I got you. It's fire.
Hello, everyone. We are here for another episode of Choose Your Path with me, your host, celebrity publicist, motivational speaker, and now #1 best international seller. Oh my goodness, for the #1 habit series for entrepreneurial success, which you can purchase now on Amazon. Hello, shout out to 10K Cards. Hi, Brenda. TJ_Johnson_IFBB_pro. What's going on? Hey, Meech. I am really excited about another. Aren't you guys excited about another episode? Because I am. This is so cool. We're approaching the end of the year. I can't believe it. Wow. Hi, Glamel. _Glamel_. Hello. Yes, I can't believe it. It's like, wow. Jane, you found me. Jane Critelli Music. Hello. Oh my goodness. Okay, are we ready? This is part 2. Thank you so much for the donation. Hi, Phil. Oh, Jane, I did not mean to press that. Sorry. I sent you a request. I was looking for DJ. He's not on yet. Okay. DJ_Red Bottom. I sent you an email. I'm waiting for our guest to come in. I sent you an email. Woo-hoo. Tomorrow I'm going live too at 6 o'clock. I'm going live with Dr. Raheem Fernando. We're going to be talking about the pandemic. I think that's going to be a very interesting conversation to have for sure. Hello, DJ Magic J. I really appreciate it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because now I'm at the end. I think I have like 2 more open for January now. He's on his way. Okay, cool. That's cool. You guys see the background? I did this because it's his birthday tomorrow. Oh, miss you too. Hey, what's going on? GNO Boxing. Oh, 10 course meal. Yeah. I put this background just to celebrate DJ Diamond, the artist. His birthday is tomorrow and he's coming on to have, isn't it cool? Oh my God, I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Phil Capone 01. You are a rock star. Thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's so cool because I felt like, right, happy birthday, right, exactly. She said, happy birthday, baby, yeah. Like, this is really a celebration. This is a moment that he is really doing this interview conversation, because interviews to me sound so boring. I just want to have a conversation, but he's having this conversation despite, like, his birthday is tomorrow. Some people be like, oh, okay, you gotta wait until like after, and it's like, you gotta do it now. Yeah, so this is a celebration of his birthday tomorrow. Oh. Yes, because I really sincerely appreciate him giving me his time. Like, someone give you their time, you gotta really appreciate that, because that is the most expensive thing that anyone can ever give. I think he's here now. Yeah. Let's do it. Oh my. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. You in front of the Christmas tree, and I got this background for your birthday.
Oh wow, that's thank you so much. That's so gracious of you. I appreciate that so much. That's so dope.
Yeah, I was like, it's his birthday tomorrow, so we're gonna celebrate it today because I really appreciate you coming on here. This is dope.
Oh no problem, no problem. I appreciate you having me. I really the first time was incredible, and please
Thanks.
whoever's logging on, you know what I'm saying, share the live, because this time we had a lot of fun. You know, last
We
time
did. We
was
did.
I was like learning about you. I'm like, where's sister girl? You did that, girl, you did that.
Right.
You did that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly.
And then you was learning more about me, like as far like the personal stuff, and it was more of a conversation. So this
That's what
time,
I
and I
want
know
it to be. Yeah.
no, I know you want to keep it a conversation, but I know you want to go a little more in depth. There was a lot of things that we didn't get to touch on, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you drive the ship and keep it hip, and I'm
Okay.
gonna actually try to answer things this time and see how that goes. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Okay, we're gonna
Try.
try. All right.
I'm trying.
I think it was great though. I really think the last conversation was so great, and I'll tell you why. Because what happens is a lot of times when we're in this entertainment business, we're giving them, of course, entertainment. A little
Yes.
bit of snippets of like who
Hmm.
we are in background, but not really necessarily diving into it. So I think it was a really dope conversation, not only because it was DJ Red Alert's birthday, but
Oh, that was dope.
it was also a time where, you know, your supporters or fans or whatever you may call that beautiful thing when people support, they got to see a different side of you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you get to talk about like real life. Like it's not to people be like, if you do that, then you're like humanizing the entertainment somehow, but you are human.
I try to be. I try to be as human as
Right.
possible, but whether I'm on stage or off stage, and sometimes being on the stage, especially when most of the time, even though I do have an album coming out in 2021, and I'm going to be the artist, the front person, but most of the time I'm the back person. I'm the DJ. I'm the captain of the ship. I'm the one that flies the plane, and if something goes wrong with the controls, everyone looking at me like, what's going on? And
Exactly.
sometimes with technology, things do happen and doesn't go as always as planned. I love
Uh-huh.
that part. I love that part because that's the part that it shows you where you're at. It shows you where you're at mentally, you know what I'm saying, how
Mm-hmm.
poised you are when it happens. And it also shows where your audience is. Is your audience really there for you, or are you just kind of passing the time? So you can kind of gauge by
Mm-hmm.
the audience. There was one time that we had, and I'm not gonna go on a rant because I know there's things you want to ask me. But
Okay.
there was a time that I was on stage with a group, and we had everything kind of just crashed and burned, and it took about maybe 12 minutes for everything to get back up and running so we could continue the show. 12 minutes in an arena when you're supposed to be rocking feels like an hour and a half. When you have
Absolutely.
22,000 people around you, like looking at their watch, like, well, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like those times in life because it does help you with the human part, and it grounds you, and it
It
keeps you where you're supposed to
does.
be.
It
So
does.
speaking of
Yeah.
grounded, it's my birthday time, but it's also Christmas time. So, for those who
I know
celebrate
this is
Hanukkah,
so
yeah, I had to. I was like, because last time, remember I had to run to another spot. I was like, this time, let me be by the tree so we can keep it where it's supposed to be.
see what
And
those moments do.
this is more human time, more real life. I don't have the hat
Okay.
on. I don't have all the extra, looking like Diamond the Artist. Like listen, I got the afro popping. You know what I'm saying, with the fresh whoop, with you know what I'm saying. This is me. This is me, regular me.
Okay, no.
Yeah. All right. So
I think you brought yourself last time, but that's cool. I mean, because nothing that we wear defines who we are. That, shame on you, and you need to find yourself if it does, because none of
absolutely,
anything that we
absolutely.
wear, never defines. So yeah, so we definitely tapped into that, but definitely the point of this is to inspire that you can choose your path. So on the
Yes.
flyer, I put
Hmm.
the path of an entrepreneurial genius part 2 because I
Ooh.
wanted to tap and talk about the entrepreneur side of you this time
Oh,
because we
I
didn't
thought
get
you were
to
talking about someone else. You said genius, and I'm like, I'm one step
you
from.
like
I'm in the other direction, but okay, all right. There must have been a typo, but hey,
See, DJ, you always so used to shouting out everybody else's name. You ain't even hear your own name.
I did not. I absolutely did not. But thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I
Let's
definitely I do want to touch on the whole entrepreneur thing because that's something I've been since straight out of high school. Coming
let's
straight out of
see.
high school, crazy mother. No, I'm
Ooh.
just kidding.
And let's get it right. I wish that we could hear some music right now. So
Oh
let's go
yeah.
where we stopped.
Okay.
Couples entertainment.
Yes, absolutely. Salute to the queen, DJ Redbottom.
DJ Red Bottom, yes. I'm looking
I think
forward to speaking to DJ Red Bottom soon.
oh, you have to. Her story is incredible. It is incredible, and it will inspire you, and it will inspire the masses who will be watching. So look out for that one in the future.
Oh, I
Absolutely.
definitely am. Yeah. Thank you. Hello. Hello. So tell me about it. What is it? What
Okay.
is
Well,
it?
couples entertainment. Basically, it is in a nutshell. It's and if you see me looking down, I have my other phone is a monitor. I want to try to shout people out because last time there was so
Oh,
many
that's
people that tuned in, I didn't get to shout anybody out. But I'm gonna answer your
okay.
question
Go
first
ahead.
because I
Okay.
know how we could go. Um, couples entertainment. What it is, it's just us DJs being DJs. DJ Diamond, the artist, the hubby, DJ Red Bottom, the wifey. We both
Okay.
dope DJs, and we have a great business acumen. We have a great personal relationship, and we have a dope business relationship because the personal equates to the business side. So it's like, yo, she's booked all over the world. She travels like me. She's booked everywhere. I'm booked
Mm,
everywhere. And we're like, when we have the meeting at the home, we're like, we should probably do something together. I was like, yeah, that would be cool too. So we decided to do a full service entertainment company, which is Couples Entertainment, which houses the music portion, of course.
okay.
We do everything from concerts and arenas to weddings to bar mitzvahs, whatever it is. I mean, we can specialize in any occasion. And we also do decor as well. We have pretty much whatever you need. If you want balloons, if you need table settings, if you need
Wow.
whatever dope stuff you need. I mean, we can even get bartenders. We have all types of stuff at hand, and we also have because DJ Red Bottom is the most ultimate incredible chef that I found out on the low, and I'm like, wow, she's incredible. And I'm kind of nice on the stove myself, not to toot my own horn, toot,
Okay.
but I'm kind of all right. So we also added couples catering to the umbrella of couples entertainment. So not only will we rock your event and dress up your event, we will feed your people as well. So we are basically a one-stop shop of everything. And our pedigree as DJs, we're some of the best that you'll ever get anyway. And I can actually co-sign the food part of it as well. And if you watch my Insta stories, you see on the Insta stories that you feel me, right?
Yeah, you guys, and both of you guys are so funny. Like you actually post like a lot of funny stuff too. I know DJ Red Bottom does. I'm like, that is hilarious. That means
Yeah,
that
we
like you really take couples entertainment, and that's just really what it is. You bring entertainment because I hear a lot of
yeah,
like there's a lot of companies that I've seen that have entertainment behind it, but they don't really have anything that you would be looking for as far as under what entertainment would be. So that's why I asked, like, what does that entail? Is it just like a house party? Is it, because
mhm,
really when people have that entertainment, it really don't have anything to do with it. So I had to ask. So that's pretty
yeah.
cool. Oh, that makes sense because I put Chef Diamond.
All
So
right.
I have seen you post the food too.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. We listen when I post these things and I take these pictures and these videos and I say restaurant quality, I'm not kidding. Like every night I'm eating like I'm in a five-star restaurant. I mean it was to the point of that's where I was like we would be stupid not to add this portion to because it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean if the food was all right, I'd be like, yo, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? But the food is like,
Yeah.
wow. Every night it's like, yo, this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. And I don't do the desserts at all. She does all the desserts. Her desserts are phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like what it would be. We would be shooting ourselves in the foot to not have that aspect and offer it to the people. And trust me, the people when they taste it, they're like, yo, when are you cooking again? Can you cook tomorrow? We'll buy everything you have. That's how it is. So you know, yeah,
Mm.
it's couples entertainment in 2021 when things open back up, you're gonna see a lot of us. That's a fact. You're gonna see a lot of us. And
When you,
in the midst, oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted
no,
to
go
shout
ahead.
out. Oh, first of all, everyone share the live. Share the
Oh
live.
yeah, share the live. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know everybody's in depth and you want to catch everything, but please share the live. Let people know that we're here and some people I guess they saw me shoveling earlier. I guess they didn't think that I
Oh,
was
speaking of,
coming.
oh my goodness, he said the words right out of my head. I'm thinking like you're not gaining no weight eating like that.
Oh, are you kidding, man? I'm DJ Fat Boy Slim right now. I'm gaining too much weight. I need to
Really?
figure this out. Yeah, like yeah. Listen, one of the things in my past is I'm a former martial artist, and I used to, that was something I took very seriously, like DJing. I used to compete and everything, and
Oh
back
wow,
then,
that's dope.
well, back then I had the body of Bruce Lee. Well, now years have gone by and food got better. So now I kind of more have like the body of Sarah Lee, because I've been eating them
Okay,
cakes.
that is so
So,
hilarious.
but no, but
Wow.
we're gonna work it out because actually I was always avid with probably with trying to stay in shape even though I wasn't competing anymore. And at 2 years ago, I tore my rotator cuff in my shoulder, and
Okay.
I opted to try to heal naturally without surgery, which was the greatest thing I could ever do because I can actually go like this now, and I couldn't do that before. So it's really the great food combined with the fact that I haven't worked out in 2 years, which I'm going to start. And it's not no New Year's resolution. It's just because I feel good enough to work out again. I'm going to start in January moving forward. So by the time my album does drop, I'm going to be right. You know what I'm saying? If I got, wear the wife beater, I won't be looking like I'm beating up grandma. I'll be looking like I'm beating up my wife. Get over here. Eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Ah,
It,
no,
I, I think his perception
that's
was
a
probably
joke.
like
That's a
real
joke.
big. I know.
Exactly. That's a
You'd be
joke,
like,
y'all.
that's just a joke. Don't put that out
That
in the press. It's
It's
okay.
just comedy. Relax, y'all. I don't beat nobody. It's okay. And
That's
speaking of
true.
comedy, I've transitioned into working with the comedians in the comedy world. I don't know if that's something you wanted to touch on,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
because
Yeah, we definitely can touch on that. I mean, since you brought it
okay,
up now, let's talk about it because
okay,
I did see Kevin Hart on the list
yes,
and
yes, yes,
Anthony
that
Anderson.
yes. Shout
Yeah,
out to
uh-huh.
those big guys. It's wonderful to be able to have worked with them in the past. Hopefully, work with them again in the future. And those relationships all came via my brother Royale Watkins, who is the producer of an incredible show that we do. It's a monthly show that we've done for I want to say 11, maybe 12 years. I can't remember now because we haven't done the show since February, and we for 12 years we've been doing it every month like clockwork. And with the pandemic, we've been shut down. So this is weird that we haven't done the
Oh,
show. But the show is called Mixtape Comedy, and it is when I say the greatest show on earth, it is the greatest show on earth, and that's
mm,
EARRF. Earth. Okay, it is
okay.
the greatest show on earth. I mean, it's in a nutshell, it's like Comedy Jam on steroids. I mean, the way we do the show is unbelievable. It's myself rocking the wheels of steel. Royale is hosting the show. He's an incredible host, and we got the incredible mixtape all star live band, and then we have the dopest comedian, and everyone
Mixtape
from
All Star.
everyone from, Amy Schumer to Kevin Hart to Chris Rock to Jerry Seinfeld has done our show. George
Oh,
Wallace,
I
like,
love him.
and mo-
I love
and
Jerry.
and Jerry's done our show 3 times. That's what I'm saying. Like
Mhm.
it's this type of show where we get everyone who's anyone on the stage, and then of course we have some up and coming ones that you don't know about that we've been watching. We like, yo, somebody got to see this
Right
person.
there.
Like
Yeah.
you know, somebody put Chappelle on stage first. You know what I'm saying? Somebody took a chance on Kanye West first. You know what I'm saying? So you still have to keep your eye on those up and coming talents as well. So it's a mixture of a free for all. It's a party. It's a literal party, and we have people that have been
That
coming to
is
the
dope.
show for 12 years, and it's always jam packed. And we do it at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City,
Oh,
which,
yes.
well, you know Gotham. Gotham is like
Uh-huh.
it's like the staple for Comedy Central. So when Comedy Central does a lot of their club settings, Gotham is the comedy club that they use. So it's incredible. It's a New York City experience, and if anyone is in New York City when this pandemic stops, we're going to be right back at it. It's every third Sunday of the month, and it's called Mixtape Comedy. And if you follow my page, you'll follow me. You see
Yeah.
everybody, and you know what it is, man. So quickly, shout out to my brother, and it was his birthday, I believe, yesterday. DJ Remarkable, happy birthday, salute. I believe he's in Puerto Rico right now on vacation with his son, and he's tuning in right now. So that's my brother. That's my
Oh
brother
no,
right there.
you shout out, like, take a moment if you have to shout out people. That is fine, because
Okay.
that's the thing that I absolutely loved about you, is that says a lot about you.
Well,
Um,
thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. Because someone
Well,
did that to me years ago, and now we still cool. And he inspired me. You know what
dope,
I mean?
dope.
To
That's
keep
so
doing
dope.
it. So yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
your thing. Go
Well,
ahead. Take a moment.
shout out to one of the dopest young ladies on the planet. She lives in France. Her name is DJ Glow. That's GLO. She's a DJ.
DJ Glow.
She's a musician. She's an artist. She has a record out right now. Thank you for tuning in, little one. And she's also the daughter of DJ Lord Jazz from Lords of the Underground. And he that's my brother as well. And I'm telling you, DJ Glow, she is a super supreme talent, and I guarantee you, like you got to get her on your show. She's
Uh-huh.
another dope one. She's
Oh,
another. You have to
nice.
get her on your show. Like she plays. I don't know if she plays every instrument, but I've seen her play like 7 of them.
Oh, wow.
And
Seriously?
and she's nice on the turntables, and she could rap and sing. She does everything. She's incredible. So she's on right now. You
Okay.
already shouted out my boy Phil Capone. Appreciate
Mm-hmm.
you. First of all, shout out to 10K Cards. You know what I'm saying? I have to shout them out personally because 10K Cards, I'm tapped. Listen, I'm keep that up there for 1 second. Listen,
Okay. Got
I
it.
have to go. I have to go into my big brother Biz Markie character for a second.
Okay.
Okay, check it out.
I'm with it.
10K cards. Yeah, yo, I'm telling. No. You don't understand. You're not understanding me. I'm channeling my inner Biz Markie right now.
Right.
You're not understand. Yo, when I tell you about 10K cards, yo, son,
What about
I'm
it?
I'm telling you.
What
If
about it?
you ain't got 10K cards in your phone and you could go like this with your phone, and instead of people, like, hey, do you have a piece of paper? No, I don't need a piece of paper. Scan this right here. And it's everything you ever wanted in your entire life in the phone, son. Word is bond.
Exactly.
So that is what 10K cards makes me feel like, because listen, you guys have brought me into the digital space. And when I told you I got you, I don't play. I got you. Anybody that's down with me is going to know about 10K cards, and they're going to be ordering from you guys, because it's the digital business card of the future. It's
No,
like
it is. This is
it's
dope.
like it's like having Bitcoin. It's like, like the next thing you need to be in your life, money is going to transfer into Bitcoin. This is where it's at. 10K digital.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, listen, the only thing I want from 10K cards, what I want, and I'm saying this on camera,
Okay.
when your company is publicly traded, I want stock, because I know it's going to get to that point.
Oh,
You
for
feel me?
sure. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. So 10,
That's what I'm
10K
talking about.
cards,
Wow.
salute. I mean, I had to go there for a second because I mean,
You did the whole thing. I didn't get to be like, hey, let's take a moment for my sponsor.
nah, you ain't had to do that. Just for me, just checking into it, I'm
He
like,
said I
yo,
got
it's
he's like, I got
incredible.
the commercial for you. I love
Yeah,
DJs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I had to channel, always prez up for my big brother Biz Marquee. He's still he's in a rehab
Oh,
right
how's he
now.
doing? Yeah, I was just about to say. Oh
Yeah,
man.
it's kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean? And he's been in the hospital for 5 months now. So, but he did have a stroke and he's recovering. So it's a slow process, but
Mm.
right now he's in recovery mode. So I had to do that for 10K cards, and I had to do that for the diabolical Biz
Ugh,
Markie, who's been my
yeah.
big
Wow.
bro since I was like 10 years old. So, that's my guy right there. Okay, but now back to you, because I didn't want to go too far, because you know me, I
Yeah,
go
because
off.
I'm like, oh man, I'm like thinking about it like, wow, and that's the point too. Like we are in a whole pandemic.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
things is really happening. We're in a pandemic, and then things are happening. Like it looks like I don't know. It to me, I guess if I had to like look at what's going on, it really literally looked like people are like dropping. You ever watch
Yeah.
a movie where like the people just dropped out of nowhere, but they like die, like they're
Yeah.
dying, and it's just so much happening all at once. But I like to stay positive. So I
Yeah.
think
You
that,
got to.
doing these conversations is bringing positive light to the world. So yeah, I want to pray for his healing. I mean, if he's in a recovery process, sometimes that's the hardest part, but it's possible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but listen, the power of prayer is
Yeah,
enormous, and
yeah,
we
it
can go into
is.
that, but the power of prayer is enormous. Hold on, really quick. Shout out to
Okay.
starting from scratch. Shout out to my girl Steph in the building. I appreciate you, DJ Stephen King. I see you guys. I'm trying to keep up and not stop stop the interview process too much. James Matthews, the songwriter. I see you. You know what I'm saying? Royal Hustler Company in the building. You already know what it is. Okay, continue before I just go on
All
a
right,
tangent because I got
since we're
my
talking
peoples
about
is in the building, son.
right, of course, we got to shout out our people. Since we're talking about the path of an entrepreneurial genius, and this is part two, right? What was the one of the first questions that you asked yourself when you first became an entrepreneur? What was that first question that you asked yourself before you went ahead and got all of the paperwork in line and all of that stuff? What did you ask yourself?
I that's a tough one because again, I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur until I was probably 20 years in the game. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm an entrepreneur because, again, back to coming straight out of high school. That was it. I came out of high school doing music and entertainment, and that was it. So I think after 2 decades in the game, I asked myself, what am I going to do next? You know what I mean? I think that was the biggest question is what am I going to do next? Because I already figured out that if I don't do well, I don't eat. That's probably the most scary part of entrepreneurship is, if you have a job and you fumble and you mess up at the job, the boss calls you in, what are you doing? Get back to your desk. And you get a check at the end of the week, even though you fumbled. If I fumbled, the game's over. There's no check, there's no food on the table, there's no nothing. So I have managed not to fumble yet. Thank God, for that.
Oh yeah, thank God.
So I
Oh
think
yeah.
the biggest creative question in an entrepreneur's life is what am I going to do next? And in today's climate, that this is the perfect conversation to have because everything is changing and everything has changed right now. So yeah, what are you going to do next? And I keep it $1,000,000 with everybody. I don't front on anything. I've been completely unemployed since February. I haven't
Uh-huh.
made a dime. The last money I made, I was on stage in France. After that, there's no more arenas. Arenas are closed. I have not made a dime off of music since February. So what I did was I was like, all right, luckily I've always been decent with my finances, and I could go for a while without making any money, and the house will never suffer, it won't be in jeopardy, food will be on the table,
You'll
family will
still be
still be good.
okay. Right.
But no one likes seeing a bank account go like this. I
And
want to see it
nothing's
go like
coming.
this.
Like as it's coming out, it needs to be coming back.
Right. Everything is just going out. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm watching everything go out and I'm not used to seeing the finances go out, I was like, man, I gotta think about something. I gotta figure something out. So what I did was I took myself to school. But not the traditional school. I think, I've been DJing for decades. I'm solidified in this. I think it's a little late to go back to school to become a dentist. I think
Uh-huh.
I'm beyond that. So I figured if I'm going to learn myself something, what am I going to learn myself? I'm going to learn myself how to make money while I'm stuck at my house. So I started studying very wealthy people, like multi millionaires and billionaires. And I'm like, well, what are they doing to make all of this money? I've always been blessed to make a good, I'm not complaining. I make a very good amount of money with what I do, but I'm like, okay, I
We
can't do
always
that
want to
now.
go up.
Right. How can I make the bread while I'm home with my family? And I basically learned a lot about the stock markets because I've learned that every super bazillionaire that's out there, out of the, let's say if there's 1,000 of
I'm
them,
so excited. Yeah.
940 of them made their money in the market. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. So that's what I've been studying, and that's what I've been learning, and that's what I've been dabbling in, and I'm fortunate to say I've been doing rather well. And it's to the point to where I'm gaining the knowledge, and you already know my term.
Uh-huh.
Now, knowledge is power, but it's powerless unless you share it. So I'm almost to the point to where I'm confident enough to start sharing what I've learned because it's working. You know what I'm saying? I had to test it out on myself, make sure it's working, and
Yeah.
what the system that I've come up with actually it's just a common sense approach. I approach life with common sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got this one, you got that one, you got this one, you got that one, you got all of the stuff over here. Okay, show me the middle. And if everyone disagrees on all of this, but they agree on this in the middle, that's what I'm going with. And that's what's been working for me. And
I'm
that's
so
the knowledge
excited.
I'm gonna start
I'm
sharing
so
that
excited.
with people.
I'm so
Mm-hmm.
excited for you. Like listening to it, it's like it's always nice when you're in the beginning of something. It's a
Yes,
beautiful thing. That's why you have to trust life and trust the process and fall in love with the process of whatever is happening at that moment. And it's a beautiful thing
absolutely.
too because good entrepreneurs, Magic Johnson has this quote: you always have to be ready to adapt and adjust. And it sounds
Right.
like that's exactly what you're doing. You're adapting and adjusting to the
Mm-hmm.
season,
Mm-hmm.
the season. And it's really nice to be able to go back to and start having these conversations about financial literacy. Those are conversations that I
Yes.
have all the time in my mastermind meetings and on the phone with my friends. I have a circle of very successful multimillionaire, two billionaires, like I
Mm-hmm.
have a successful circle around me, so you don't have no choice but to mesh into that at some
That's
point,
right. That's right.
right?
Well. I mean, it goes with the old adage, you know. If you hang out with 10 dummies, you're about to be or nine dummies, you're about to be the 10th. If you hang out with nine wealthy people, you're bound to be the 10th. So the company you keep, yeah, that says a lot about who you are and where you will end up in life. So yeah, keep hanging out with those billionaires, and at some
Yeah,
point,
you have to. You have to. Even I remember
yeah.
even taking the train. I used to I live in Connecticut. So I would take
Hmm.
the train, into the city. And I remember sitting early in the morning and sitting there's like stockbrokers and investment bankers and all of these guys, on the train in the morning on their way to their offices in New York. And I sat
Hmm.
next to this guy who he worked in stocks. So he would tell me about all of these different hedge funds and all of
Yeah.
these different sectors. And I would literally have my journal. I always have a journal with me. So I would write down what he was saying.
Mm.
Didn't make sense then, right?
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
started to make sense later on. That's why you got to trust the process. You don't get all of the information all at one time, but eventually do. And then
Mm.
I found myself sitting in front of the financial guy and starting to invest in the small, the middle, and the Fortune 500 companies. Like there's like lists, and it lets you know how big your risk is and how small and whatever and going on and on and on, you know. And it was just like, it's awesome to start looking for it, because it's not going to just come to you. Even though I had that little bit, I still had to go a little bit deeper into the education of what financial literacy really is.
Yeah, well, you do have to, you have, like with anything, you have to educate yourself, you know, enough. Like I'm not just going to be like, here's $10,000. I don't care what your company does, just here. I want to know, what does your company do? Like, how am I going to, you know, actually recoup my, you know what I'm saying, my investment, hopefully with a profit and so on and so forth.
We're looking for an ROI on this.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Our ROI comes from DTI. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's all relative. So, you know, at the end of the day, you got to know what's going on. So yeah, like that's one thing about being an entrepreneur, that just to stay on par with your question. One thing about being an entrepreneur is you have to understand the climate that you're in and know that it always changes. So you have to change with the climate. And you know, God rest his soul, you know, I learned that from Prince at a young age. You know, Prince, you know, taught me that you have to constantly reinvent yourself and replace yourself in the same arena, but you might have to move a little bit to the left or to the right, you know what I'm saying, to still hit your mark. And
exactly.
I was like, I get that more now in life than ever. You know, I was young when I was with Prince, but you know, he was big bro. He was giving me the game. But I get it now. I totally get it.
See?
And I'm so far, I'm on it.
And that was then, and that's why it's important. That conversation was back then, and now you're like, okay, now I can use this. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to fall in love with the process, not just trust it, but fall in love with it. Doing your homework first, as Dan Records once says. Exactly. You have to do your homework first. I mean, I could have like went and took my money and threw it in all of these things that he was talking about, and then just let someone else control it, or I can educate myself so that I know what to look for and what it is that I'm putting my money into and understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was Prince. He could have gave me a plate of fish and say, here, eat the fish. But he said, you know what? I could feed you fish every day, but I'd rather teach you how to catch your own fish. And that's what he taught me. You know, I'm saying, one of the things he taught me, many things, but that's one of the things he taught me.
One of the lessons.
Speaking of having a dope mentors, I just want to shout out my young homie from the DMV area. His name is DJ Young Fresh Prince. He is a dope young DJ, and he's a talent to definitely look out for. And you know, he's like my honorary nephew, man. He's a dope little dude. And then of course, shout out to my man. The Drew is in the building. The Drew from Public Enemy is in the building. From one of the greatest groups of all time, Public Enemy.
Because we definitely have to talk about. Go ahead.
Well, the Drew, he's another dope entrepreneur. He has a product that I will be using actually on stage, and it's called the microphone theme. You know what I'm saying? He invented a microphone. Like, okay, microphones have been around forever, but not one like this. He invented a microphone really for artists, mainly for rappers. When rappers grab the mic, for some reason, we grab it from the top when we perform, and we kind of like hold it up, and we're like, yo, show. Right? And half the time, you can't understand us. But he made the microphone where it's got grips for your fingers, like literally on the top where the ball is. So now you can hold it the way you want, and you can actually sound clear. This is the most ingenious thing I've ever seen.
It would sound like it. Wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah, so it's super ingenious. So shout out to the Drew from Public Enemy. That's big bro. He's amazing, man, and I can't wait till this thing takes off, and I'm gonna do what I can do. And when his company goes public, I'll be investing heavy. That's a fact, because this is a game changer. Game changer.
But that's what a good entrepreneur does. He sees a problem, and then he goes out and try to see, I think I can do something with this, make this better.
Yeah.
And then you go and invent it. That is so dope. I wrote down a few things because my mind be going so fast, and there was no way that I was going to remember all of this. but
Your
it
mind
had
be going too fast.
too fast. Yeah. I mean, like, like on the highway, like, ooh, ooh, oh, green, red, yeah, yellow, all like, yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be going too fast. So I had to write it down. This article talked about different types of entrepreneurs. There's the social, there's the large
Mm-hmm.
scalable, which we talked about a little bit. There's the social, there's the innovative, there's the
Mm-hmm.
hustler, there's the that's one. That's one. The imitator. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's the researcher.
Mm.
Where would you fall?
I would be, I would be, I would fall somewhere between, I would call myself the imitative hustler. That's exactly what I would call myself.
You
I
would?
would,
Just
yeah, I would
tell
be
me
both
why.
because I'll tell you exactly why. Um, like even though I have a plethora, and I just learned that word yesterday,
I love it.
um, I have I do have a plethora of my own great ideas that I've come up with that at some point maybe I can get them to the marketplace before I leave this earth. That'd be great.
Okay. Okay.
But I also I understand what works and what doesn't work. And there's tons of people that shows you what works. So why not just do what works? Remember, I said I use common sense, and that's how I survive.
Okay.
So perfect example. I'll say this, and this is something that I teach younger students that come to me. I don't just teach them how to DJ. I teach them the business. I teach them
Oh,
about
that's
life
important.
because
Mm-hmm.
that was taught that those jewels were given to me by Prince and many other people, Cool DJ, Red Alert, and the list can go on of people that have actually taught me about life. And I just teach them this simple aspect. I'm like, okay, I have a few cars in my driveway right now, right? Let's say I have three, or maybe one's in the garage, wherever. Let's say I have three cars in my driveway. Three different type of vehicles. One's a crossover vehicle, one's a sport vehicle, and one's more of an SUV.
Okay.
They all have this in common. They all have four wheels, right? One of them, the SUV, I think has BF Goodrich on it. The sports vehicle has Pirellis on it. The crossover vehicle, I think, has maybe Goodyears on it, right?
Okay.
Three different vehicles with three different tire companies that are putting the wheels on them. Now, guess what they all have in common? They all made a wheel. They're wheels. They all roll the same. They all serve the same purpose.
They
Three
definitely
different
do.
companies, and all three companies are billion-dollar plus companies. So I tell people, now hear me on this. I tell people
Yeah.
all the time, and I'm gonna have to use a little profanity to make it stick. But I
Okay.
tell people all the time, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Just make a fucking wheel.
That's it.
That's
Just,
it.
yeah.
That's
Just be
it.
yourself. Just do you. Be in your lane. Stay in your
Be
lane,
it.
whatever that is.
Be in your lane. But if there's six people with a bakery, why can't you be the seventh and bake things your own way? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's so many
There's
people
a bunch
that
of publicists. There's a
that
bunch of DJs.
exactly. And we're all good. Just be you. And I tell DJs this all the time. I'm like, yo, I want you to be the best you that you can be. You don't have to scratch like me. You don't. Yo, there's a DJ. Shout out to my brother DJ Milk D. Milk D, he's kind of learning how to scratch. He's not much of a scratcher at all. But I repost him because he is incredible at the other stuff.
Mm,
Like his energy level is on 8 bazillion. And every
uh,
time I watch him, I smile and he makes me feel good
that's
to watch
dope.
another DJ go. And you know what I'm saying? And he's like,
Cause
man,
you
Diamond, I
need
wish
it
I could
too.
scratch like you. I'm like, man, I wish I had 1/10 of your energy. So what I'm saying is, and he's doing his thing. He's big.
Yeah.
He's on first choice radio, and he's got a great song out with Honore called Get Up. He's doing a whole bunch of great stuff. So what I'm saying, and he's not me. So he didn't try to reinvent the wheel. He just made a wheel. You feel what I'm saying? But he made a wheel his way. And that's what I try to get people to understand, yo. It's the people that are trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not mad at that because we need that brain power too. But there's so many of them that never get in the game because they're still working on that reinvention of the wheel. When I'm like, listen, if I can't reinvent it by age 35, I'm just gonna make a wheel because I want to be in the game. So that's where I'm at with it. That's why I say somewhere between imitator and hustler. I'm a hustler or I'm an imma hustler. Whatever. However you want to
Yeah,
say it.
I like that. I
Yeah,
think
I'm somewhere in that lane, I would say.
I'm like social researcher.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you know what? You found me. I'm just a regular guy. You find some incredible, super
Wow.
incredible guests.
You are too. You're
Ah,
amazing. Like
yeah.
I
Yeah,
watched
I
you on what was that? I think it was Funk Flex, and you were mixing, doing the
oh,
DJ turntable. I was like,
salute.
ah, that's how I was doing like this. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yes, oh my
Well,
goodness, yeah, you were
shout
absolutely
out to
amazing.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. And shout out to Funk Master Flex. He's a big inspiration of mine. Like there may never be another Funk Master Flex. As annoying as
Yeah,
people say he is, with talking through the records and whatever. That's cool. Either you love him or you hate him, but you gotta respect him. He is the biggest
respect the
urban
DJs.
machine. Well, I made the record respect the DJ, but he doesn't even know it, but he's in the video. I put a clip of him, a quick clip of him in the actual video for the song because I respect him. I mean, he is the biggest urban radio machine, period. There's
Yeah.
nothing bigger than him from a DJ aspect. Yes, you have the Tom Joyner morning shows and you have the Steve Harveys and you got that's a whole different thing. But he dominated the DJ mix show thing like bang, and he's had it on Smash for 20 plus years. Are you kidding? There's nothing. And then come on, then we could start talking about the car shows and all the other endeavors
Oh
and putting out
yeah.
albums and everything. He's the blueprint for DJ Khaled. He's the reason why Khaled is so successful. So what I'm saying is like, so that's why I said salute the Funk Flex and the Lit Digital
Mhm.
DJs because
Mhm.
yo, that's what I'm talking about. Iron sharpens iron. Now Flex, there's things on the turntables that he can't do that I can do. But there's things in music and radio that I'll never be able to duplicate what he does because I don't think they'll ever let that happen again. He's too big. He's too powerful. He's got too much muscle. The clear channels, the Emmets, the iHeart radios, the Radio Ones or whoever, they can't stop him. You know what I'm saying? So there may never be another Funk Flex. So you better respect that man. You better respect him.
I mean, I think when we look at our handprint, it's only this. I only have this. When I put my finger, that's it. It's just me. And then when
Yeah.
you put your hand up, it don't match. So it's only going to be one. I don't ever forget when people say, "Oh, you're going to be the next," and it's like, how am I going to be the next if they've already been made already? I don't
Right.
ever understand that term when
But
people say
but
that.
the funny thing is there's a double-edged sword to that. There's a double-edged sword to that. And I don't want to go into the business too much of who I said this to, but I
Mm-hmm.
actually had a conversation. I had a conversation with a talent, a TV talent, who's also a comedian, who's also a sitcom actor, very
Got it.
big.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, I said, yo, and he has siblings that are big too. I said, why don't we just do a dope, super dope variety show? And I'll be the DJ and
Oh,
y'all do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Because they already love me. I love that. You know what
right.
I'm saying? I'm like, yo,
Right. Got
it
it.
makes sense. And they were like, nah, it's been done before, referencing like in Living Color and things like that. And again, in the back of my mind, I'm like, just make a fucking wheel. Don't you understand that? Who cares if it's been done before? You know what I'm saying? It can be done before and done again. Before there was the Breakfast Club. Shout out to DJ Envy. I was with Envy. I was with Envy when Envy was trying to figure out how do I put a morning show together? I want to put a morning show together
Mm,
before the Breakfast Club happened. And he was like,
yeah.
yo, Yo, he's like, I called C to God. He was like, yo, Diamond, you know C to God from the Wendy show. And I was like, yeah, I know C. He said, yo, he said he's down to do a show with me. He said, I need a girl. Do you have any girls in mind? So he was asking me if I knew a girl. And one of the girls I did mention was Angela Yee, because we were all up at Sirius Radio, and she was like the new girl. I was like, yo, there's this new chick, Angela. She might be cool. But I mentioned like 3 or 4 other ones. So I'm not taking credit for her getting the job. And I would never do that.
You're just telling the story.
But what I'm saying is, I say that to say that their show is The Breakfast Club. The show that used to be with Ed, Lisa, and Dre in the morning was The Wake Up Club. They just made a wheel. They just made a freaking wheel. It was done before, it's done again, and now The Breakfast Club is the biggest thing in the United States. He just made a wheel. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand. It's put people on Instagram Live conversations, but does that stop me from doing these every week? No,
exactly. And you do great ones.
Yeah, they're awesome. And we got, how many people we got on here? I can't see because I got the glitter behind me.
Well, I can't see either, but I'm sure there's tons of people.
I appreciate everyone on here. I really, really do. Thank you guys.
And I appreciate everyone who
with us. Thank you.
Shared and all of that stuff. We greatly appreciate it. But again, like that's the main thing I'm saying. Just make a wheel. Everything has pretty much been done before. You gonna tell me no one ever fried chicken before? You gonna tell me that stopped Popeyes when KFC cornered the market? It didn't stop Popeye. You understand? Like, get out your own damn way. That's my thing. Get out of your own way.
Everybody put 579.
I'll take it. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, people are busy. It's the holiday seasons, everything coming up. So,
but they on here, and this is a day for your birthday. Happy birthday, woman! Saying,
thank you.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate that. Yes, tomorrow will be the celebration, and hopefully, I'm just. It's another type of shout out to really quick to Cat's Sports Pub. That's a place in New York City, downtown New York City, in the financial district, actually. That's a dope spot to throw parties and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So my man Ron over there, once we open back up, that's a spot that I'll definitely be doing some probably maybe some of my release parties and stuff.
Sports pub. I was saying it so everybody can go and follow. I think that I'm sure that they see them in the comments. Yeah, cat_sports_pub. That's so funny. I think I even wrote down some of your last shout outs last time. Status Denim.
Yes. Status always keeps me right. Yes.
Right? Oh, okay. Yes. I take notes.
That's why I said like right after the holiday season and the new year, we're gonna talk outside of the public, and we're gonna get to some business, because I like how you operate. Thank
you. No, I remember. And then it was something else. The God Divine.
Yes. Right? That's DJs and MCs. Yep. And then my boy Ralphie Ray from Life to Long Island.
Ralphie Ray, I got that on the list. Yep. And I was like, that's what made me think. That's what made me like give that light. The light bulb went off, and I was like, "This is an amazing guy." Anyone that shouts out people and their team, that means that it's not just about them; it's about the people, and that's what I'm about. I'm about bringing value to the people. So I think that's dope.
Absolutely.
So the album 2021, are you ready to like drop it yet, or we're just saying, is there a name that we can look for?
Well, I was supposed to actually. Well, no, I have a name. I was supposed to drop the project in 2020, but with life halting and things getting all weird, I fell back, because I was like, yeah, okay, I'm a solidified DJ. I do all of this big stuff with these big artists, and the world knows that side of me. But technically, as an artist, I'm brand new. I've never officially dropped a song. I did do the song Respect the DJ, but I did that for the culture, and I only put a video up on YouTube. You can't find that on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, nowhere. I didn't make that record to make money. I made that record from an emotional standpoint, to understand, to get people to know that, even though I'm gonna live this rap life, this is where my heart lies. So I did that record just for the culture. I didn't want to make a profit from it. So I haven't officially had a release yet. And in 2020, with the pandemic and life going crazy, I'm like, who really cares about me putting out a record if I'm a brand new artist? If you're a Drake or somebody like that, of course you're going to keep releasing music, because people are checking for it. But I just didn't think people would be checking for me to release something new during the midst of a pandemic. But in
I
2021, it looks like things
I
are gonna,
think they will be.
yeah, things are gonna kind of calm down, and so I'm ready to release this project. And the name of the album is entitled "Don't Label Me," which has
Oh, thank you. Okay.
two great meanings. Meaning number one is I've most people probably don't know this, but I've had not one, not two, but I've had three record deals as an MC. I've been in the WIA system, the Universal system, and like major deals, and none of my albums ever came out because that is how the business is. So like when people are like, "Yo, I just signed a deal," and I'm like, "Yo, congratulations, but make sure you do everything in your power to come
Yeah,
out
the business. Yeah.
because just because you sign the papers doesn't mean that you're gonna come out, and just because you get money, like I got advance money 3 times, and I got a lot of advance money." And my record still didn't see the light of day. So, sometimes people assign you for different purposes so that you won't take the market share from an artist they already put $5 million into. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot to this whole business. So that's one
Of course
reason
it
why
is.
the album is called Don't Label Me. And trust me, if you see me not being independent and signed to a record label, trust me, I got everything I
Don't
wanted.
label me. That
Everything.
is that going to be
If
on
you ever see me
merchandise
live to a
too?
label.
That needs to be on merchandise too. Don't label me.
Well,
That's pretty
yeah,
dope, right?
I have merch coming. I have a whole lot of stuff coming in 2021. It's going to be pretty cool. And releasing the songs, from the album, it's great because there's a lot of people that ride with me and have been riding with me, and I have a network of DJs that, there's thousands upon thousands of DJs around the world who know me, who kind of love me, who respect me and appreciate me. So if I come out with something that sounds just a little bit better than garbage, they'll play it. But I got some dope material. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I don't want to.
we need music right now. I see it on YouTube where people are like going back and listening
Yeah.
to the older
Yes.
music because we can't.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Oh,
glad you said. I'm glad you said going back. Now, first of all, you see, I'm rocking the. I
the
got the
fro,
retro fro, right?
right?
Yo, I'm telling you. Listen, all I'm gonna say is, if my music excuse me, doesn't fall upon deaf ears,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to help change music a little bit. And that's all I can really, really say. Like, you're going to be surprised at the music that I drop, but I can't tell you everything yet because,
No, it's fine. I think that,
we,
I mean, you gave us the title, so that means that they need to
yeah,
go and follow you and they need to tune in. And if they're tuned in, then they'll be
mm,
ready to, listen to that.
yeah,
Don't label
yeah.
me. Like,
I
they'll be
can't,
able
I
to
can't,
feel that. That's going to
I
be so
can't
dope.
drop all the jewels because, my management will kill me, but
Yeah. That's fine.
but no, but I can tell you this. I can tell you this. What I am doing is I'm targeting the younger market. You know what I'm saying? I'm targeting the younger market because the mid level, the 30s and plus, they're gonna rock with me anyway. When
Right.
they hear it, they're gonna rock with me by default,
You want to
regardless.
touch the world.
But I'm targeting the younger
Mm,
masses because I figured out a way to do something that they can relate to and rock with,
uh-huh.
but still fuse it with the dope sound, the dope golden hip hop era sound. And that is what no one thus far I've heard has been able to do. And I've done it. And when I tell you my music don't sound like nobody else's, it don't sound like nobody else's. It's a different sound, but it's a sound that's going to be pleasing to both sides of the fence, to both age demographics. That's what I'm coming with in 2021.
I can't wait. I can't wait because when you think about music, you think about the vibrations, you think about the
Yes.
frequencies and the
Yep.
energy. When you see those wiggly, movements up and down, so does the electrocardiogram when the heart is
Absolutely.
beating. So you have to
Yes.
take it just as serious as we take our heart beating. That's when you're making the music, that's how serious you have to take it. So listen to this album in 2021, right? I'm sure I'm going to be able to like feel a heartbeat. I can't wait.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
There's well,
Oh, we
first of all,
froze up.
let me you can hear me though, right?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
We're
So
at the
first
end.
look, there we go. You're good. All right. So
Okay.
first let me say this. I may not ever drop an album, and I'm going to tell you why. I think that it's arrogant for anyone that's a new artist to put a whole album in front of your face. I'm concentrating on making quality songs, period. I want to make one quality song two, and so on and so forth. And I want to give you the best possible songs, piece by
Mm.
piece, that I can give you. Now, if I ever do drop an album, it will be because of consumer demand. It will be that there will be a demand for it. Then I'll drop. I got enough material to drop an album right now, but
Right.
I'm not dropping it until it's what the people really want. That's like me saying, yo, girl, check this out. Let me let you hear my latest hit record. I'd be looking stupid to say that. I can
Supply and
say,
demand.
yeah, I mean, how can I tell you I got a hit record if the people haven't said it's a hit record? So I'll say like this, check out this record. It's a potential hit. That's it.
Nice.
It could go double wood and nobody
But think
wants to hear
about
it.
it. Like anytime we're putting out anything, is always a potential.
Right.
Right.
But I'm saying, but there's people that like, yo, listen to my smash hit, and sometimes it be good music, but I'm like, you calling this a hit? This is why I've always been about the people. It's the people that dictate this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Of
that's
course,
true.
radio controls, its programming, and it controls what they want to force feed down our throats 800 times a day. That's a whole nother show and a whole nother conversation in itself. But at the end of the day, it's the people that decide whether you got hits or you got trash. So
Yeah, it is the people.
I want the people the same way. I want the people. Listen, like if I put the needle on the record and my joint clears the room or it makes the vibe bad and different, the energy different, I'm switching my own song. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no shame. Like I'll be like,
That's
oh,
true.
I gotta go back to the drawing board. This ain't
That's
it.
true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
And out of recording, if I record 40 songs, I think I kept 7, 8 out of 40. You know what I'm saying? And that's before you even get to hear it. So like I said, I'm working on giving you the best possible quality. I'm not giving you a 22 track song a project where there's 2 good songs, maybe 3 on it. Why did
Mm.
I waste my time with the other 19, 20 songs? You know what I mean? And that's what we're getting nowadays, because people, they just want to put out so much because it pushes up their streaming numbers. You know what I'm saying?
But
So,
but that's the thing though, when you start thinking about numbers, when we start talking about like money and thinking about numbers and all of that,
mhm.
then you literally sacrifice the people.
Right. And it's all about the people,
Yeah.
man.
It's
It's
always
about
about the
the
people.
experience. It's about the
Yeah.
experience. That's why I didn't take the job at Hot 97. I was offered a job at Hot 97 20 years ago. Who knows? I could have been flex. It's a possibility. But my mentality was, even though millions of people would have been hearing me, did I want to DJ in a room that was 12 by 12 or whatever it was with no windows? Or did I want to get on stage with
And
50,000 people
with
and
the energy.
the people? I've always been about the people. It's the energy.
Yeah.
It's the
Yes, the
energy.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah. So from
Uh,
from from the whole Diddy making the band experience to Beyonce to
M-
Prince
MC
to
Light, Chub Rock.
oh yeah, I've said the light, the chub rocks, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All of that fun stuff. Even today, when in between doing what I do, I DJ for the biggest rap, well, I would say the second biggest rap duo ever. First there's Run DMC, and then there's the group I DJ for, which is EPMD. We're on stage in front of thousands of people a night. I have fun. I get to scratch. I get to actually show you what a DJ can really do. So I have fun out there.
That's what I was
You know what I
looking
mean?
at today. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes.
I think we're
Oh,
at
I'm
the
sorry.
end. Nope, we're
Oh,
at the
oh,
end.
we running over
Yep.
again?
I think we did
Oh,
run over again. I know. It's
did we get
crazy.
to did we get to touch on some of the things you wanted to touch on? I hope we did.
We did. The entrepreneur, we talked about the entrepreneur side. And I hope that
Okay,
we
good.
motivated someone to, like, get ready to take their business to the next level. I appreciate everyone's donations. That's really dope. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much, you guys. I really, happy birthday. Did I say happy birthday? I
Yes, you
did say happy
did.
birthday,
Thank
but I have to
you.
say that again. Like, that's
Thank
amazing. Like,
you. Thank you.
oh
Thank
man,
you.
your mom, like, thank goodness that she said, "Oh, I'm gonna nurture this baby and feed this baby all the good stuff that he needs and brought
May
you
she
into the
rest in
world."
peace.
Oh
Amen.
man, rest
Yeah,
in peace
yeah,
to her. But thank
yeah,
God,
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
her for sure, because we now have this amazing DJ, right? DJ Red Bottom. Oh my goodness, I'm looking forward to talking to her as
What's
well.
up, Red?
Thank you,
That's my
everyone. How do we
that's my
end it?
live right there.
Yeah,
Well, I
everybody, happy
mean,
birthday.
thank you. I appreciate you guys. My birthday is actually tomorrow, but I
But
really
we're
appreciate
celebrating
the
today. You see this background? I
yes.
put it up all for you. Nobody, I haven't had this type
Mhm.
of background. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
use
Well,
this from now
you know what?
on.
But
Celebration.
before we get out of here, I just want to shout out a few more people. Hey, Cuzzy,
Oh,
shout out to Urban Snob Apparel, down in the PA area in
okay.
Pennsylvania. Man,
Uh-huh.
listen, check for Urban Snob. They got the wares.
Urban
They will
Snob.
keep
Okay.
they will keep your woman looking right. You heard? Shoot. And then we got my brother in the building, my fam, DJ Son in the building. He was Rakim's DJ for many, many years. He's such a dope person, great human being. He's in the building. My cousin, DJ Del Tanya Cannon, who's actually on a TV show with myself called Flawless. What up, Del Tanya? Love you, girl. Shout out to Big Brother Ecstasy in the building. I
Okay.
mean, I got a lot. I got a lot of
I
peoples I can
know,
shout
it's
out.
like, whoa, like that's whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, I wanted to say hello to Royal Dot Hustler Company. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes.
I mean, I think that everyone spent an entire hour with us. Thank you.
Yes,
So,
appreciate it.
as we
Appreciate it.
end, I always ask the question, one word or an inspirational, motivational something to help us as we continue to move forward.
All right. Well, I think I said it already 10 times in this interview.
Keep saying
I think
it. Say it again.
I'm gonna say it again. I gave you my favorite I gave you my favorite knowledge is power statement the last time we interviewed.
Uh-huh.
But today I'm just gonna leave you guys with this. Get out of your own way. That's the
Kids,
biggest thing. Get out of your own damn way. You
yeah.
you are the only one stopping you from doing you. Get out your way. You know what I'm saying? And I was the same way. I was always planning to do. I was planning. Listen, I was supposed to drop an album a decade ago, but in all fairness, my parents, they had health issues. I was the only one in the family who had the type of career where I could take 10 years off, still pay my bills, and be able to take care of my parents. So that was something I chose to do because I was in a position to do it. And my parents, without them, I wouldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? So I did what I did. But really, this album was supposed to drop like 10 years ago. Of course, the material is new, it's updated, but I had plans to do this. But
Mm-hmm.
still, I could have dropped it 10 years before that, but I had to learn how to get out of my own way. That is the biggest thing that's stopping you from reaching your potential. Get out
Yeah.
of your own way and make a effing wheel. That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
And that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with.
Oh,
I'm done.
that was a
Drops
whole
drops
that was a
drops
whole right.
imaginary mic, boof, and he walks away.
Right. Take the pen.
Do, 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 do.
That was a word. That was like a preacher word. Like, get out your own way. It's always me versus me. It's always you versus you. And you just get it done.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's it.
so
Just get
much.
out your
Oh
way
my.
and get it done. And
Right. Right. Shout out to 10K Cars. Thank
thank
you,
you so much
DJ
for
Diamond
having
the
me
Artist.
again.
Enjoy your birthday, okay? Love, light, and energy to you, and we will be in touch 2021 for sure. We got it on. I got it on video too. So,
All right. Well, I
yeah.
appreciate you guys. Tomorrow is my birthday, so shout out your boy. I love
Oh,
everybody
well,
that tuned in.
definitely.
Thank you so much. And make sure you keep supporting my girl right here because she got the dope interviews, and I'm gonna keep hooking you up with doper people that you might not be aware of because you're dope and you're not in your own way.
We
And
are right.
we're gonna not only developing a friendship, we're gonna be doing business.
Let's
Trust
do
me on that
business.
one.
I'm always ready to do business.
You heard? Salute.
Bye. Salute.
Blessings.